Hey everybody, in today's video, look what's back on the bench. The Fred Henry Appreciation Build Nastruck. Yeah, that's right, I'm getting back on it. So if you want to see what I'm going to do to it, make sure you stay tuned. Hello BSC family and welcome back to my bench. So yes, I've got the Fred Henry Appreciation Build Nastruck back on the bench. I figured it was time to get back on it. I was just getting burnt out on it, so I needed to put it aside and do a few other projects. And, well, most likely you've probably seen that I finished the bulldozer. So if it's out, I'll put a link up here in the corner for you. If it's not out, well, that link won't be there. But anyways, this truck isn't that far off from being done. The cage is done right here. I may do a couple little things to it, nothing major, do some cleanup on it some more. And yeah, this thing's pretty much ready for paint. I got a couple little things to clean up. I might add a couple more little things. You know, I might try to straighten out a few pieces here and there and go from there. Other than that, on the body, I've got the engine pretty much built. I'm going to paint this up and get that ready to go. Probably add a few little things to it. I'm not doing wires on it. I'm using the NASCAR engine and the spark plug wires that they had. But I've got some lines I got to go from the oil pump down to the oil pan. A couple little things here and there, but nothing major. I do have aluminum pulleys I'm going to put on it afterwards, so that's all good to go. As far as the body, one thing I'd like to do is fill in the top here, get rid of that, you know, so that that's all nicely cleaned up. Suspension is going to stay open, but I have this radiator. Now, normally this is supposed to be in a car, but being it is a truck and where it has to sit, as you can see, I mean, nothing's glued in place yet, but as you see, it's lower than the radiator support of the truck, right? Because that's where it's got to sit. So I want to build some sort of tin shroud to go there. I'll probably do that out of aluminum. And then once this is all sitting nice and straight and where it's supposed to be, that should look pretty good. There is a electric fan piece that goes in. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that or see if I can make my own or better or what. But that's that. There is, I'm going to make some taillight covers out of aluminum sheet along with the back roll pan section. I'll build that out of aluminum and make that look like it's riveted on. Same thing on the front. Once that's all glued down kind of thing, I can put on an aluminum bumper piece that goes right across, and that'll hide that stuff. And as you see, I still have not decided if I'm going to move the flare up or if I'm actually just going to round it out a bit. If I round it out, I mean, I don't know. I just really don't know. See, if I round it out, it's kind of going to be like that, maybe a little bit bigger. I could try to make the curve come off of the edge of the flare. I could try to fill it in a little bit, which I might do if I cut the thing out. Both of them have to do roughly about the same amount. So I might just take the Dremel with the grinder disc on it, and I might shave these flares off because they have that natural flare to the truck. Shave them down flat, And then I might have to make a filler piece depending on how it is on the inside, how thick it is. If I go all the way through, well then I'll probably just make a piece that follows the contour of the wheel. And maybe I'll do the same up front. Right? So yeah, other than that, the body is almost done. I may clean up a few more things once that's done. As far as the chassis, I still got to fill in the tops of these mufflers, but that'll be easy enough to do. Probably make a couple more bars. I'm not sure because of the way the cage sits. I think it actually looks pretty good as it is. Once that's all glued in, I may try to drill some holes in the back window. Right? And once the back window is in, I may try to use something like this bar here, right? And try to go down somewhere. I'm not sure, maybe I'll make some standoffs or something, you know, make some supports that go from here to here. But that's got to be something that, how do I put that? Something that's put in afterwards. So once the body goes on for the final time, right? Like so, the back window will be there with the holes. And I may have to extend this, but once this goes in, like I was saying, once this goes in, I got to be able to put it in, go through the window. So maybe I'll shorten it up and only go to here, kind of thing, right? And go through the window so that it matches up with the bars inside, kind of thing, right? So it'll sit something like that, but it's got to go through the window, but it also has to, I have to find it, the tonneau cover. I got to make a cover for it. I'm thinking a two-piece, right? This piece will be solidly glued in, and then probably hinge here where this piece can lift up or lift out completely, right? Which means I'm going to have to put a lip on the side of the box here, you know, underneath the rail so that when I put my piece on, it's flush, right? And this piece will be glued in, so that'll be flush to begin with anyways. So this piece here will actually have to come out of that and through the back window. That's if I decide to do that. Now I could make it look fake and cut this piece off right here, glue this top piece in, then glue the bars in, and just glue it to the top of the piece that'll never move. What I'm trying to do is also leave it so that my body, when I want to, I can take the body off, right? So these bars are not going to get glued to here, right? They're only going to look like they are. They're going to go through the back window, up to those bars, and glue down to the top. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to shut my face because I've already talked for 9 minutes. I'm going to get a bunch of stuff done, and I'll come back and I'll show you where I'm at. It may have color. It may just have primer. I don't know. But give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So let me show you what I've gotten done, and we'll probably close out this video. So here's what we've got. I'm breaking it already. Anyways, I've got the front end filled in, like I said I was going to, right? Drilled a small hole here in the front because in the hood it's got a bit of a locating pin, all right? Then I also went and filled in front headlights, signal lights. I flattened this out a little bit because these were wider at the ends than they are here, so it kind of flares out a bit. The grill is still cut open. Now, unfortunately, I think I may have to try and paint in between here to try and get the aluminum in the radiator, but because I'm just going to paint this thing all as one. Now, for the tonneau cover, here, you can see I've cut 2 pieces and glued one in, all right? And yes, you see hinges. So the hinges opens that up, All right, now I'm going to clean that up a little bit so it looks a little better, but that opens up. I got to put a couple blocks in because it does want to move side to side. So I got to put a couple stopper blocks in on either side of my hinge just to keep it from sliding one way or the other. All right, that's not a big deal. I still got to fill in taillights, the rear roll pan, and I got to do something on the front here. Okay, I've decided that I am not going to cut these out in any way, shape, or form. They're going to stay like that. So it's kind of going to look more like a road truck or a track truck, but it's still NASCAR themed. So maybe when they jack it up, the tires drop far enough that, you know, they can change tires. I don't know. But that's the way I'm going to leave it. I can't wreck the square body. I just can't do it. I love the square bodies too much. So sorry, they're not getting ground out, and I'm not moving the flares up. And it's just going to stay like that. So that's what that's going to be like. I did cut out, the back window is a little thick and it's a little wider than it needs to be. So I did cut one out here somewhere right here. It's a lot thinner, right? It still has tape on it, but it's a lot thinner. Fits in the hole nice and tight and flush. And it's the right size. Everything's been test fitted. Now, check this out. Now, if the white balance plays properly, what you're seeing right now is the proper red. The camera likes to change it to more of an orangey red, but if you look real close, you see the pearl that's in there? That's the pearl I put in with the top coat, with the clear coat. See that pinky pearl? I don't know, I think that looks pretty good. There's the orangey red that the camera likes to do. I'll give it some white balance here. There we go. That's the proper red. What you see is what I see. But you can see that pearl all over the place. The whole thing is like that. So there's that piece. Here's the cage part. Come on. Bring in the proper red. There we go. You see that pearl? Doesn't that look freaking cool? It's on the dash. It's everywhere. The whole thing is like that. Now, I did have a couple wobbles. I got water spit, and yeah, I wasn't too freaking happy about that, but it's right here. There's a little bit there. And where else there was? Oh, some up here. You can kind of see that texture right here. So, wasn't happy that it spit out water, but what can you do? Now, of course, I got a bunch of hand sanding I got to do, or not hand sanding, but hand painting. So that sits like that. So I got to paint the seats and the tubing and the shifter. I got to put all my roll padding on, roll bar padding, right? I'm going to probably paint the top of the fuel tank. And remember, I've got tubes that actually go from the tank right here. Goes from the tank to the back of the truck. One tube there and one in the filler tube. But we go like this. Slide this in there. Come on. Everybody go where you're supposed to. There we go. Not cooperating. Oh. So that's what it's looking like so far. Now that'll look good with mainly black and a silver stripe down the bottom. And I got to figure out a way to lift this up, but for now, go like that. And you can see into the tank. So I'll have some wires in here and those filler tubes and things like that. Now, I actually had to move these hinges because, well, when I was gluing them together, I didn't completely test fit. And I thought, okay, I'll just move the hinges in a little bit to clear these bars. Well, turns out that where I moved them to, the actual hinge portion of it, right, this little bump right here, I ended up making it so that both of them were dead center of the two bars. and I couldn't close it. So I had to break it free and move them over. I was not happy, but I mean, the luck of those two hinges being dead center of those two pipes, I mean, the only way you could do that would be measure. And yeah. But anyways, I got that fixed. Like I said, I got to clean it up a little bit, but now it closes nice. Everything's flat and flush. You know, a little bit more cleanup. So now I'm going to start working on the body. I do have the engine partially painted. And yes, it's blue, but I still got a bunch of aluminum to do on it and everything else. But that is definitely going to show up in there. And that's all nice and done. You got aluminum and, you know, wiring and stuff in there. That's going to look pretty darn good in there. And also I've got the rims painted with the same pearl. Probably a lot harder to see on something this small, but you can kind of see some of the pearl on the edges. But yeah, I'll get some black wash and some silver in there on the lug nuts and that. Actually, the lug nuts will probably be yellow. But yeah, I may do an outer ring color. I'm not sure what, maybe silver to match the bottom of the truck, but I think those will look pretty good on the truck.
Yeah.
Black tire, silver ring, and red rim. Yeah, I think that'll look pretty good. So that's where I'm at right now, and that's where I'm going to leave it for this video. If you like what's going on, you like the way it's looking, give me a thumbs up for me, please. And thanks to all my subscribers, my new ones and my old ones. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, leave me a like. If you have any comments, please leave them down in the comments section. I love reading them. I try to get back to each and every one of you. Give me a follow on my Instagram and my Facebook group. You'll see sneak peeks there before you'll see videos. Also, if you want to help out the channel, I do have a PayPal me link down there as well. So with all that being said, no matter what you're building, just do it your way, for you. And until next time, later.